What's going on out there today, guys? So it is the first of the month. I want to talk about achieving your targets or your goals, your monthly numbers, whatever you may want to call it. So this is a good kickoff. If these are things you know, great. Let's talk about it. Maybe you need to gear it in a little bit, or maybe you've never tried these before. Fantastic. As always, the only thing I'm trying to do here is help others in areas that have helped me. So hopefully this helps. If it does, pass it along. So we're going to be whiteboarding it today, and I'm going to give you kind of two different examples of what it looks like to hit these targets. Understand that this applies to any and everything, whether it be fitness, business, I don't care, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, or maybe you're a crazy person, you're trying to achieve yard work. Something's wrong with you, but whatever you're trying to do this month, let's talk about what you need to track, how you need to track it, and what we're going to do to succeed. So something my pastor says all the time that I kind of like to translate is the way God does anything is the way he does everything. So if God created us to be like him in his image, then we need to do the same thing. So it's real simple. For example, let's say if you're walking in your Christian life, step number one is you need to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Next step, spend time with God. Pretty simple, right? So I think a lot of times what we do in our day-to-day business, these are going to be business-related subjects, just in case you were wondering, we need to do it the same way. Now, a lot of times, especially like if you're in a big retail box store, a lot of times what I see people do is they want to just track every last inch of things. If you need lots of things to track, that's fine, but that's when you're kind of diving deep into it. You're trying to figure out a problem or find a solution to something. As far as your day-to-day tracking to measure your goals or are we on target, it is a much, much, much smaller thing. So you can see here I got an example of one being 4 things, one being 3 things. You need to, on a daily basis, track your main targets. Those main targets should never be above 4. You want to have the 4 most important things. What are the drivers? What are the things I need to do, or my team needs to do, or my company needs to do, whatever. What are the 4 main drivers? No more than that. If there's only 2 main drivers, great, but no more than 4. If you got a board that says, all right, every day we're going to track these 10 things, that's too much. Just telling you right now, that's too much. Like if you want to go into the world of sports, don't make turnovers, don't make mistakes, score the ball in whatever category it is, football, basketball, like put the ball in the net, across the line, whatever the case may be, right? So it's very simple at the end of the day. Are there all sorts of mechanics and things you need to do to get there? Absolutely, but I think I've kind of drove this point home. Let's go over some examples. So let's just say you are a realtor. And by the way, if some of these numbers hit you and you're like, that's too much, suck it up, buttercup, don't know what to tell you. Let's say you're a realtor and your goal is, I want to sell 1 home. Like if you sell 1 home a month, you're probably doing pretty well. You're going to be a little bit above average. And if you're listening to this, you probably don't want to be average. You probably want to be a little bit above. So this is going to be a little bit above. Now, what you need to be looking at are what are the main drivers? What are the things I need to do to get my 1 sale? Again, there's probably a million, but you need to break it down to what's most important. If you're going to sell a home, you got to show some homes. So how many homes do you need to show to achieve a sale? If you don't know that number, here's the national averages from what Google says, right? That's got to be close. If your number's easier than this or higher than this, great. But again, this is just kind of an example of how we get there. Next, buyers and sellers. How many buyers you need to have? If you only worry about buyers or only worry about sellers, you're cutting yourself short, right? Next, contacts. How many contacts do you need to make to get to your buyers and your sellers and your shows? So let's get into it. On average, if you want to sell 1 home a month, you're going to need to show 20 houses. Means you're going to need 10 buyers, 10 sellers. You're going to need to make 200 contacts. That's not a lot, to be honest. Seems pretty easy. So what do you need to do on a day-to-day basis? Now, I understand you're probably going to take 2 days off, maybe you take less, but this is going to be based if you take 2 days off in the month, you need to make 0.9 showings a day. let's just say, come on, it's kind of one show. You need to show one home every day that you're working. Buyer, seller, you need to take people into a house, let them look at it, see if they like it. If you're not achieving that, get there. Next, you're gonna need 10 buyers and sellers, meaning you need to have 0.45, let's just say half. You need to gain one a day. How many contacts? Picking up the phone. People you meet at Walmart. I don't care. Find a way to talk to a person about real estate. Gonna need to do 9.1 a day. So at the end of the day, as every day goes on, you just multiply this number by however many days there are, and that's where you should be. If you're hitting these targets, you'll get to your one home. If you're only thinking about the one home, you're not thinking about enough. Thinking about more than this, it's too much. And you need to track this daily. If you're thinking, well, I didn't do good today, I don't want to, look at the numbers. There's not a sport that exists that doesn't have a scoreboard. You want to know why it has a scoreboard? Because there are winners and losers. Period. You need to look at the scoreboard, and you need to do it daily. If you look at it once a week, it's probably not going to be what you think it is. Don't go based off of what you feel. You need to know where you're at. That way, let's say today you came a little short. Tomorrow you better amp it up. And if that means I don't want to work that long of a day, well, you shouldn't have slacked off yesterday. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to achieve your number, these are things you have to do, point blank, period, in the story. Figure it out. Next, let's say you're on the other end of the spectrum. Let's just say you're a leader of an HVAC company and you're like, man, I gotta sell $1 million worth of HVAC this month. You're doing a pretty good company. That's nice. You're doing pretty good. Probably gonna be some big numbers. Let's say your average AC system runs $7,500. That means you need to sell 133 units. Again, I know there's gonna be some other stuff in there, some repairs, whatever. Let's just, again, stick to the basics. These are your daily things, right? So if you're gonna go off of how many inspections you need to do, generally speaking, most guys, they gotta take a look at 3 to sell 1. Hopefully your numbers are better than that. That means you need to do 399 inspections in a month. That means points of contacts, whether you wanna consider that your Google leads, your cold outreaches, whatever it needs, it's almost 20,000. So let's divide it up into a day. And this one here, you're an HVAC company. People's HVAC go out at all times a day. So we're gonna say you're working all 31 days, meaning every single day you need to sell 4.2 systems. You need to inspect 12.8 homes, 4 new systems, and you need to have 643 points of contacts. Now, what's that mean? Well, how many guys are you gonna need? I mean, is a guy gonna sell a system a day? I don't know, maybe you got a guy that's pretty good. If that's the case, you only need 4 guys. If your guys average about half a system a day, you're gonna need 8 guys. Like the other things you're gonna have to know, you're gonna have to figure out, you're gonna have to make sure that you have the equipment and the people to achieve these numbers. But once you have that, this is what you need to look at. And don't tell yourself, oh, today was a bad day, or that it doesn't matter. Figure it out. This is what you have to achieve to hit your number, period. And if you are someone leading a team, just like the individual needs to know every day, your team needs to know every day. If you got a guy that's killing it, you gotta brag on him in front of everybody. If you got a guy who's not killing it, you need to pull him aside and be like, hey man, just to let you know, we're 3 days in, 5 days in, whatever the case may be, and you're X number behind. You have to talk to people. You have to monitor these things. And if you're a manager out there right now and you're monitoring a million different things to get to your one number, because let's be honest. Let's say if your goal is $1 million and you're hitting $1 million, do you really care if this category, this percentage of this thing didn't hit? No. You made your profit. Great. So these are things you need to be targeting. And everybody needs to know about those things. These are your main things, your main points. What are your 4 main drivers in the thing you're trying to achieve? Again, this is business related because most times this is where people go when it comes to things like this. But rather this is a health thing. Or maybe you're like me, you're a car guy and you got a car project and you're like, oh man, I have X number of hours in my car. Well, okay, so how many hours or minutes or whatever do you need to spend per day to hit your goal? Like if you're like, hey, I want to finish building this car at the end of the year, and the end of the year comes, you haven't touched it once. Shocker, it ain't just gonna get done on its own. So you need to figure out your main drivers to hit whatever target you're trying to do. And it shouldn't be more than 4. Like, these are some good examples of main drivers. And if you don't know, man, you got ChatGPT, you got Google, you have other people that you can ask in your industry. Or if you're a realtor and you're looking for, man, who's someone that sells 1 house a day, go talk to them. What are the main things you focus on? Like, if you're like, hey, I think these are good things to focus on, but I don't know how to do those things, and go figure out how to do those things. Very, very simple. But this is what you need to be looking at. If you don't have something that you pull up and you track every single day to get to your goal, you're not going to get to your goal. Most people fail to even set a goal, but once they set the goal, they fail to track it. Like, track it. Know what you need to do and get there. It's 4 little simple things. It's not that hard. And it's easy to make moves on big things. It's very easy. So, I hope this helps. I hope you got a big goal of some sort, whether it's you individually, you for your team, whatever the case may be. Set big goals, know how to achieve them, track them, and go get it. We'll talk to you on the next one. And by the way, thank you. I'm having a pretty good hair day today. I feel good about it. It's a good day. It's a good day. Humidity's low, rain stuff. Sorry, anyways. See you later, guys.